I just realized I forgot to put eyeliner on. So, do you guys know the feeling that you just ended a series on Netflix and you're like, what do I have to do with my life now? And you're starting to look for some new series, but you want it to be really good, and also you have a feeling that you kind of have watched every single series on Netflix that is good, and then you're like, what do I have to watch now? Like, I literally watched everything. And you just keep on scrolling through Netflix and you're looking it up on internet what you want to see now and stuff like that. It can be hard sometimes. So today I'm gonna give you my top 10 series on Netflix. This is my opinion, so it's only my opinion. It's not based on someone else's reviews or stuff like that. It's just my opinion. And I'm gonna start with 10 and we're gonna end with the first one. My first favorite series on Netflix, which is on the 10th place, is Scream. And I know there are a lot of movies about Scream, and I actually only watched one movie, and I really like the concept of like not knowing who it is and finding out. But in a movie it's only like 2 hours and you already know. So that's why I like the series so much, because you can literally think every episode like, oh my god, who is it gonna be? And then you can start your own investigation and you're like, who is it gonna be? And you have so many episodes to find out and to get more clues and stuff like that. So that's why I really liked Scream. It's of course a thriller / horror genre, so if you don't like that genre then it's nothing for you. But I just really like to find out who the murderer was. So my 9th favorite series on Netflix is Santa Clarita Diet. And that is actually a comedy series about a family and a mother who turns into a zombie. And the family has to live with the fact that she's a zombie now. And it's just very hilarious because you have a lot of thriller and horror series and movies about zombies. So I really thought this was an original idea to take it like in a comedy version, because it's just so funny. You really should watch it if you like comedy. Like, it's so good. So my next series that is on my list is Don't Trust a Bitch from Apartment 23. And it's about a girl who is moving in with another girl. But that other girl is very chaotic, and both of them are so different. And it's so hard for them to become friends because they get so frustrated all the time about each other because they're so different, and that is just hilarious. So the next one on my list is Prison Break. And I know, I think it has 5 seasons, so it's a lot. But I really like those series that have a lot of episodes, because then you can keep on binge watching and it doesn't end like after 3 days. So you can really get invested in the characters and in the story and stuff like that. So that's what I really like. And it's basically like, you probably already heard of it, but it's basically a criminal who tries to escape prison. Yeah, that's why it's called Prison Break, of course. You get really invested with the main character and you just really want him to get out of that prison, and you're like, but that's never gonna work, and then there's so much suspense and you're like, oh my god, watch out, you know. So it's a very good, I really liked it. So the next one on my list is Good Girls, and it's about 3 moms that accidentally end up getting in a criminal organization, which they don't want at all. Like, they didn't want to be in a criminal organization at all, but then they end up in it, and they have so many troubles and problems because you're in a criminal organization, so that's never a good thing. And they are forced to do things they don't want because otherwise they're gonna be threatened and stuff like that. So it's really great. And the series are both funny, but it has also a lot of suspense. So you're like literally always wanting to know what's gonna happen next, and you're really like excited about what's gonna happen. But then all of a sudden something funny happens. So I think that's the perfect combination to have something funny with a lot of suspense, because I really like those things that you're not always like scared and like biting your nails because it's so scary, but then it's also really funny. So I really like the combination. Okay, the next one is so good. And right now the second season is out, so you're probably all watching it right now. But if you're not, I'm talking about sex education. So it's actually a series about sex, of course. And I think it's such an original and creative concept because nobody really made a series about sex and educating people about sex, because people are still not comfortable talking about it, and these series are just like in your face and just talking sex all the way. And I really like that because it is so good to open up the conversation, and it's so funny, but it's also so realistic, and you're really also very invested in the characters and you really want to know what's gonna happen next, but it's also very funny, so that's also a very good one. So the next one on my list, and I think it's number 4 now, and that is Girl Boss. So it's only 1 season, which is pretty sad because I really wanted more seasons. But on the other hand, it's good that it's only 1 season, because sometimes people just keep making seasons while it's not necessary, and I think the story is now told in only 1 season, so that's a good thing. So these series are about Sophia Amoruso, who is the founder of Nasty Gal, and they actually just made a series about this woman, and it just shows how she starts working in a job that she doesn't like at all, and then how she follows her passion with clothes, and how she ends up having one of the most biggest and most successful clothing stores in America. I just really liked it. I think it's more of a girl thing, I'm not really sure, or just in general for ambitious people that want to have their own company and stuff like that, because it's so motivating and you're like, oh my god, if she can do it, I can do it as well. Okay, we arrived in the top 3 now. And on the 3rd place of my list is Bates Motel. So if you've not heard of Bates Motel yet, you should definitely watch that if you like thrillers, because oh my god, I just really liked it so much. It's basically a prequel of Psycho, the old Hitchcock's Psycho movie with a shower scene. So it's actually about Norman Bates, who is a psychopath, which is not entirely true, because actually he's psychotic, which is something different, because I studied psychology, but okay. Back in the days, he was a psychopath, and it's actually about how he became like that, how he became a murderer, and just his young years as Norman Bates, and his relationship with his mom and with his whole family. I think it has 4 or 5 seasons, and I just really enjoyed it. I binged it like crazy. It's very psychological because of course it's about a disorder and how it develops itself. So that's of course what I really like. And also it has a lot of suspense, and it has a lot of plot twists and stuff like that, and you really want to keep watching because you don't know what's gonna happen next, and you're like, you really want to find out. And it's a very good series to binge because wow, just wow. Okay, so the 2nd place is Breaking Bad. And of course, probably a lot of you already watched these series, but it's so good. It's basically about a teacher and a student who start their own drug organization. So they start selling their drugs because they really need money, and that's the only way how they can get that much money in a short period of time. So they do, they're gonna cook some meth and they're gonna sell it, but then of course a lot of things happen, and these series are not comedy, they're not funny at all. It's really serious. It also has a lot of plot twists and suspense, and you're really invested with the main character because you really feel bad and you really understand why they want to sell drugs, and you're like, yeah, please, I hope everything's gonna be fine and I hope they can get a lot of money, although it's illegal and you probably wouldn't think that of like a person you hear on the news, but you just have so much empathy towards the main character. And then the last one, which is number one, is The Big Bang Theory. And I just think that doesn't need an explanation because everyone knows The Big Bang Theory, and it was so sad when it ended because, oh my god, I could not. And I know it's not a Netflix original or anything, but it's on Netflix right now, so you can watch it on Netflix. I actually didn't watch it on Netflix because it's only on there for like half a year, I think. But right now you can watch it on Netflix, so that's why it's listed in my list. But I just think it's a very, oh my god, it's so funny. Oh, and it has so many seasons, so you can just keep watching, and it's so good, and it never gets bad. It's really sad that it's over, but I think I'm gonna watch them all over again. It's so good. So yeah, that was my top 10 favorite Netflix series or series on Netflix. And I just want to say that a lot of them that I listed is age plus 16. For example, Bates Motel or Breaking Bad, because of course it's about violence and criminal things. So I should not recommend it if you're under 16 to watch those. But the other series like Girl Boss or The Big Bang Theory are of course all under 16. So yeah, I really hope you guys liked this video. You can have some new series because of this video. And I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Bye! And it's Girl Boss. I just told you, didn't I? And it's just very funny, and no, it's not funny at all.